Put your faith in the light.
Hello guys, welcome to another one of my videos. This is Lightblade. Well guys, in this one we're going to go into a 24 Spires of Ascension. This was done on the last week, which was Tyranical, Raging, Volcanic, and Encrypted. So for this key, our conduit build is going to be a bit different. We're not going to go the regular Mechanicos Hammer of Genesis route. Instead of that, we're going to go the Pelagos route. This is because I consider Pelagos a better soulbind for single target scenarios. This is because damage on Pelagos is a bit more consistent than Mechanicos. Mechanicos' Hammer of Genesis is, while being a really powerful AoE ability, in single target and tyrannical bosses it kinda lacks its power because you won't get this benefit a lot of times in the fight. You will only get it the first few seconds of the fight, between 15 to 20 seconds. After that, if the boss doesn't spawn ads, basically this is a dead conduit. That's why I prefer to use Pelagos for tyrannical bosses. On top of that, Pelagos also gives us the benefit of having an extra potency conduit, which will normally be Virtuous Command for tyrannical scenarios. For fortified scenarios, you might want to put there an adaptive armor fragment. But Tyrannical Virtuous Command is really powerful. It will be about 6 to 7% of your damage on boss fights. Other than that, Pelagos is also a more defensive option than Mechanicos. Mechanicos doesn't give you any defensive benefit, but Pelagos does. Let Go of the Past is another 3% damage DR against magic damage, and you will get your little ghost thing that will give you about 7% health if you ever manage to look at it and get it in a good moment. So while Newfound Result gives you a benefit in defensive and offensives, it sometimes won't happen at the perfect time, but it's still there as an option. Okay, so that's all for conduits. As for talents, we're just going to use our normal build: Zeal, Blade of Rat, Fist of Justice for more stuns, Cavalier for more movement, Divine Purpose, Healing Hands, and Sanctified Wrath. All these are pretty baseline Retribution talents that we at the moment take. As for stats, I'm using a different build as well because we're using Pelagos. We don't want to go as hard on Mastery as we normally would. So instead of going to the full cap of Mastery, we're just going to leave those 140-ish extra stats before the cap, so those can be filled with the Pelagos combat meditation. For our other stats, we're gonna fill the gap of Mastery with Versatility. We're going to go up to 29% haste because that's a really good, I think, comfortable place to use Pelagos. We have 26 here because we're not using Zoldias because we don't have anyone in our group, and as little as crit as possible. Other notable stats that we're using is avoidance. We are using one of the crafted pieces that gives you avoidance. I recommend, if you're pushing keys, to always get the crafted piece that has avoidance. Surviving keys is more important than doing extra damage with the other benefits of the crafted gear. So we have a total of 9% avoidance, which is pretty decent, and surviving damage on certain keys in Spires of Ascension is none other because there's a lot of AoE magic damage that happens in this place. So those are our stats, guys. Now let's go to the key itself. Okay guys, we're just gonna start the key here. It's 24 Spires of Ascension. This key is kind of annoying, especially the first part. I feel really in danger here because of those angels and the castigate they do. So it's just a single target bolt that deals a lot of damage. The problem with those is that normally you would kick that, but there is another deadly cast, which is a blue one that I don't remember the name actually. So you want to save your kick for that one, but you also don't want to get killed by the bolts. And you can see here in this initial pull, I get chunked by one of those castigates. I just use a defensive here. I don't want to die, so I just use my bubble. I use my other, my shield of vengeance, everything that I can, so I can just put my initial damage and try to nuke down this castigator as fast as I can. I'm always watching on him, so if he doesn't get, his bolt cast off and I die, you know. Here we get a Woe Drifter, which is I think a good thing because we meant to get but we didn't. So here this Drifter actually saves my life because he dies and I get that 20% damage reduction, and that saves my life there. Yeah, you can see there, I literally saved my life, the Drifter. Then we get our little ghosty thing. Oh yeah, we're playing Pelagos this key. So it's a bit controversial decision to play Pelagos. Most of Red Paladins play Mechanicos. And yes, Mechanicos is really good. He gives you a ton of haste. But I really prefer sometimes the controlled aspect of Pelagos. Mechanicos can give you one Divine Toll with wings always, and then 2 Divine Tolls without wings. But that's only the condition that you find you always hit 5 things with the Divine Toll, so you get a full cooldown reduction. Now, Pelagos, on the other hand, will always give you 1 Divine Toll without wings and 1 Divine Toll with wings. So in that aspect, I prefer the controlled nature of Pelagos, because I will always guarantee my damage on those windows, you know. Anyways, let's get back to the key. We just destroyed this pack. There's another angel that I said that does castigate. Since there's only one in this pack, the easier to control, we just kill the angel and just move on with our lives. Okay, just take the angels here. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, the trade-off between Pelagos and Mechanicos is actually you give up between 20% haste on each pack that you don't control, though, for every 1 minute, 14% damage in terms of mastery. So that's the small trade-off of Mechanicos against Pelagos. Both are, I think, really viable. Pelagos is a bit more defensive, though. Okay, now let's go to this next pack here. We want to get the I'm always going to look at the Mender because I want to get the cast off. The healing cast off, so he doesn't heal the pack. Normally you would want to sometimes like save wings because the next pack is the boss, but I really wanted to get rid of this pack. I hate those angels, like I said before. Those angels scare the living crap out of me because they do that. Oh yeah, I got bolted there, so I almost die again, but I survived. So that was a raging bolt, I think. So scary. Just kill the angels, not die. Interrupt whatever we can. We're going to go into this boss without any cooldowns. We have one cooldown. It's our 1 minute divine toll. So we're going in with since we're Pelagos, like 14% extra damage. While if we were Mechanicos here, we would just go with a divine toll that does nothing. It basically gives us 20% haste without any damage. So just dodge the frontal of the bird. We can actually stand in the front of the boss. I want to kill it as thing because it's annoying me. Okay. Yeah, you can sit in front of this boss. The frontal from the boss itself doesn't do any damage to anyone except the tank. You don't want to stand in front of the frontal of the bird thing. So just that's the only thing to take in mind of this boss. Also, don't stand in line. It gives you a dot. It does a lot of damage. Your healer will appreciate not having to heal that. Sometimes I do stand in it, and I'm sorry. Anyways, we get our little ghosty there. I'm gonna let it time out a bit, and I'm gonna look at it when the boss drops down, so I can use the strength buff on both of them. As you can see there, I got my little ghost buff, and now I'm gonna use everything in combination. This is why I like Pelagos. He does this. He gives you extra damage modifiers, which is really good. When you combine damage modifiers, they become a lot stronger. So there I did stand in the line and I took a lot of damage, but my healer can take care of it pretty nicely. Just gonna kill the boss however we can. 2-target cleave for red paladins, not the best thing. If you are Necrolord, this fight would be a bit better because they do have a better 2-target cleave, but then after that, Necrolord paladins for keys are really bad, so I wouldn't even recommend it just to do this fight. Kyrian red paladin is not the best 2-target cleave like I said before, but we'll manage to do enough damage to kill the boss. 24 Tyranicals are a bit rough, especially on survivability sides. This was the first week in a long time that my group actually was playing again, so we were kind of rusty, but we're managing to do keys just fine. This boss takes a long time. I really don't like Tyranical weeks just because the keys become like a bit of a slog because boss is taking a longer time than needed. And as red paladins, we're better at fortified settings than in Tyranical settings because our AoE damage is just so good. Here I get kind of trolled with the camera because of that little ledge and makes me look like at the ground all the time. The good thing is we weren't in any danger there. So we just keep killing the boss, just dodging the things. Don't get clipped by the frontal from the little birdie and we should be fine. Here we get this thing, just freedom, so we don't have to stay in that slow field and get the dot. Freedom doesn't actually prevent the damage. I thought it would, but it doesn't. But it prevents the slow. There we almost get clipped by the little birdie, but we just move him out of the way. And the boss is dead now. So we're not going to commit cooldowns to finish off the boss here. We're going to save them for the next pack. Actually, we could have committed there. But the timing is kind of off these mobs. So normally, we normally do this with my tank and just put everything to one corner. and just blow it up. So I thought we were going to do that, but we changed the route just a bit at the end, and we're going to do the two packs separate. This is so the pack is a bit more controlled, you know, just to make the kill the key a bit chill. So we just kill this pack, and then we're going to LOS the angels to one corner to kill them all together. So knowing this, I would have used my wings to finish off the boss, and I would have had them for the next big pull, you know. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. As long as we play safe, Spires is a pretty chill key to time. So yeah, we're gonna do, like I said, this in two pulls. Even though it's Tyranical, this is a bit more comfortable because these angels are annoying when they jump away. And if they are raging and jump away and just spear someone, it can be messy. So we just playing it safe. Kill the angels, avoid the jumps. And after this, we're going to do a big pack. So we're going to pull all those cats and one of the little flying angel thingies on the other side. So that's why I've been waiting to use my wings all this time. Oh yeah, one more thing about Paladin that I want to repeat is, if you're using him, do not use Divine Toll without wings. It's preferable to save the two cooldowns so they go together, then use them one just alone, because it's extra damage modifiers. You gotta stack them. They are better together. Okay, here we bop our tank so he can gather everything and he doesn't get stunned by those cats. And we're just gonna pop cooldowns here, pop everything we have, pop potion, blast this pack down. That was a nice Ursol, so the flying thing doesn't go away. Just blast here. You get some nice procs of Wake of Ashes, one after another, which is really good. This is the power of damage multipliers that stack together. When you get like them to line up like this, it does a ton of damage as Red Paladins. This is one thing we lost from BFA to Shadowlands. In BFA we had so many damage multipliers that we could use because of Azurite traits and corruptions and all of those stuff. So Retribution Paladin became a really decent powerhouse at the end of BFA. We lost a ton of those damage multipliers. We lost Vision of Perfections in Shadowlands, and it made us really weak. We also lost our niche that was uncapped AoE damage. Red Paladins was one of the best of doing that damage. Like, we could even compare ourselves with Fire Mages at the end of BFA, but since we got target capped to 5, we lost that niche, and it was a really annoying time for Red Paladins. It still is an annoying time for Red Paladins, if you ask me. We still haven't recovered like that from the loss of power from BFA. Hopefully with Dragonflight and Talons that changes. Maybe even with the next season, with Season 4's Affix, we can just stack a ton of bursts and just recover some of the extra damage that we lost in BFA. Here I'm just gonna interrupt the Golem. I'm going to be the first interrupt on that. Then it's gonna be my Demon Hunter and my normal Hunter and Tank are going to do interrupts on the next Golem. We're just gonna pop cooldowns on these golems. They're kind of annoying, they're pretty thick, so we gotta just kill them as fast as we can. Just a two rotation of interrupts, and it should be done. Raging and Volcanic is one of the best combinations, at least for my group, because we are true melee, well, are mostly melee. So Volcanic doesn't actually affect us that much, and Raging, although sometimes dangerous, we have a Druid and we have a Hunter to do the spells. The Golem just says, nah, I'm gonna chill here, you guys go, so we go. I'm gonna take the Spear here, while my tank is doing his reflex shenanigans. Prot Warrior is really good with some reflex. Like, he pressed the button here and he did like 500k damage just to this pack alone, which is really good. Like, it's just you when you're not meta, you just have to like use all the niche things you can, you know. That goes for me as well, and for my well, my Demon Hunters aren't meta. I think they're good because people want them to buff the locks on high keys. But our Demon Hunter here is the key for Tyranical bosses. He does so much single target damage. He's really good. And I'm here because I do both types of damage. That's a good thing about Rets. We kind of do both types of damage well. Some of our like 2 target cleaves, 3 target cleaves aren't that good, but other types of damage we're pretty decent at. Anyways, here we're just gonna interrupt all we can. There's the Mender. Our Demo Hunter is going to purge the guy's weapon so we can use it against them. We want to kill the here, and we're gonna do a big pull after this with the spear. So we're gonna gather all those mobs on the top here and just gonna blast them with the spear. We don't have pot, and we're not going to use our pot here because we're going to do a Nimbus skip to the next boss. So we're gonna save that. As you can see here, I'm just saving all my cooldowns. I don't want to use anything here. I think I only used a Divine Toll, and that's because I was gonna get it back with the cooldown reduction from Here we're just gonna wait for my tank to do the pull. Let's gather all the things up. I'm literally going to blast that angel because I don't want that angel to live and to do a bolt on me, a raging bolt on anyone, because it just kills us. Gonna put the spear down, gonna start blasting with all we get. Throw it all we got. We need some good procs of Wake of Ashes, and we actually get some good procs, so I'm really happy about that. Kick the Castigator, everything else is dead, just blows up. It's not fortified, so things die kind of fast. It's a good thing we got a lot of procs of Wake of Ashes. And the golem against us. Nah, just gonna stay here. They do that at the worst moment. Here we got a little ghosty. We're just gonna leave it there for a few seconds. Now we're gonna absorb it so we can use the damage on this pull. And then that's a small tech that you can do with Pelagos. Just leave your ghost there. It has a duration, and just look at it when you need it. So you got like 15-20 seconds, I think, to just leave it there until you need it. So you can line it better with your cooldowns, you know. It's kind of annoying to use Pelagos, but it pays off if you do. You get a little extra bit of burst, you get a little bit of extra tankiness because of Let Go of the Past, and sometimes you get the Ghost, and that's 7,000 extra health that can actually save you in certain occasions. In this key didn't actually do that much. The damage reduction on magic, it did a bit of work, but not that much. There are some places where there's like little one-shots that can be saved just by having that extra reduction. Spires is in that place. Here's where we are going to do our Imbis skip. We're not going to play this pack because the big angel there is extremely annoying to play with our group. Everything we do is AoE, and that angel reduces all AoE damage taken by the group, by the trash. So it's better to just not play that pack if you have a lot of AoE damage. Okay, here my healer kind of dies there. Small mistake. So I want to get the res. I can't actually see him. So I tell my tank here to, what's it called? Reset the boss. Because if I just go and try to res him there, the boss might like run to me and engage me, and then we'll die. So I just wait for the reset, go there, try to start resing my healer. He's behind a pillar, so gotta get line of sight of him. It's all good, it's all good. We have all cooldowns. Should be able to destroy this boss. There's the boss. And we're just gonna blast him. This boss is pretty chill. The only mechanic is just dodge the orbs. Don't get hit by the frontal. And just repeat. Just a dance fight. Get the rhythm and you get the fight down. It's mostly a problem for range because they get that dot that does a lot of damage. On the 24 Tyranical, they should be able to survive with no problem, just using normal cooldowns and just my healer using healing. So this is the hectic part where there's a lot of balls running around. But with the position that my tank did, It's already non-issue because we can dodge it really easily. We dodge the frontal. We try to get our little orb there, but we might have died if we got it. Oh yeah, we get the orb. Nice. So that's one of the things that I said that was a bit annoying with Pelagos. Sometimes your orbs will appear in weird places. So, and the AOE on the orbs is kind of inconsistent. Sometimes you will like be next to one and you will absorb it. Sometimes you will be on top of one and you will not be absorbing it. So it's kind of annoying, but I still like Pelagos. We got our little ghost there to just get extra damage here. Dodge the balls, keep doing the damage. We have our next rotation of cooldowns here. We're going to wait a few seconds so we can line it up with our Divine Toll. So we go there a bit early. We're still going to have like half of our Avengers Ret with our next Divine Toll here. Yes. Divine Toll, Pelagos buff lasts for up to 20 seconds. But normally in this fight we will only have it for between 10 and 15 because we might miss orbs because of all the movement. So I just used my wings without my Divine Toll for a few seconds. Anyways, the boss is dead and we just move on to the next thing. Here we're going to kill that Hellion and we're gonna kill one of the relics. We're going to kill the Woe relic here so we could do a skip. And we're actually going to play one of the big packs that is before the next boss. So not the little small angels that do the spears. We're going to kill those as well, but we're going to play one of those annoying packs that do a lot of casts. Should be fairly easy because it's Tyranical, it's not fortified. And we will have the woe buff to reduce any damage that we take. I'm gonna get a spear here. And now we're gonna kill that Hellion and we're gonna kill the Woe relic. Just gonna target the Woe relic because we don't want to make the mistake to kill any other one. We really need that Invis. We really need we really want that damage reduction from the Woe relic. Here we're just gonna save cooldowns for the next pack since I said that we're going to do one of those annoying ones. We need all cooldowns to just blast that thing off. Even though it's not fortified, those angels are really, really dangerous. Spires is a pretty dangerous place, especially for certain mobs. Angel mobs, really annoying. The ones that do the AoE resistance aura are really annoying for my group because all we do is AoE. A lot of our Paladin abilities are still coded as AoE as from back in Legion times. Wake of Ashes is coded as AoE. I think Judgment is even coded as AoE because it used to be an AoE spell. So we get reduced a lot by those big angels. Anyways, here we're just gonna play it safe. We're not going to go through the middle because sometimes that golem puts you in fake combat. And here we are next to this big pack that we're going to do. Okay, so here we are at this pack of angels that we're going to do. So these angels are kind of annoying. There's one that does healing and the other angel does the Forced Confession. Forced Confession has to be interrupted or stunned because it deals a ton of damage. The healing is just full heal on whatever target it is, so it also has to be interrupted and controlled. With the woe buff that we have, and we're gonna kill the Earth Relic, this pack should be really easy because we just get the healing and we have a lot of bullet reductions. We manage the kicks alright, destroy the pack really easily. Just gotta finish up this Hellion. And then we're gonna pull the little small ads there. So my tank is going to just run a bit forward than us so we don't get speared. That was a good pull. Managing kicks is really important in Spires of Ascension. There's so many of them. Like Bliss just went overboard with kicks on this place. But nothing the group can't handle. So yes, now we're gonna go behind this pillar. Just gonna wait a few seconds more so we don't get speared and killed. We mostly do these two small packs just to have our cooldowns back for the boss fight. Actually, I missed a Divine Toll here. I could have used it, and I still would have had it for boss fight. It's kind of late now, so I'm just not gonna use anything. Just kill him with baseline abilities. I'm not gonna put my consecration down because I'm gonna kill myself as I do sometimes. Just gotta wait for the mobs to get together. Blast them down. Pretty chill. Now we're gonna do this boss fight. I kinda make some mistakes here at the start. I get hit by the big circle thing and I get my hunter hit by it as well. My brain kinda turned off there. I was like focusing on this relic for some reason, and yeah, I hear my brain turns back on and I get my hunter hit by it. Just a little bit of trolling. Now we're just gonna stack. I'm gonna heal here with a Word of Glory. You see that heal? It's pretty fat heal of Word of Glory. Using the talent that increases the healing from it is really strong. It's basically like mini Lethal Hands that give you a small overshield if you're using the conduit. Pretty good for survival. My tank's going to control the boss, so he does his stomp and uses energy. You never want to go with a tank, by the way, in those situations, because he is going to get stomped, and if you get stomped as well, you take a lot of damage, and you also take ticking damage. Here my tank is going to do absorbs. I thought I was going to do it with with bubble, but he's going to do the first one, so I can do damage. We're going to throw a sack on his way, so he takes reduced damage from the magic damage of the orbs. Protection Warrior's weakness is mostly magic damage, so just making this easy on my tank is really nice. After this, it's just rinse and repeat. Heal the big circle things. Don't get hit by the stomp. Stack for this for the arrows. Always try to move in the direction that your tank is not going, so you don't get stomped. The tank controls the stomp by running into the hitbox of the boss, so that's one thing to take into account. He also asks me for some freedom sometimes, so he doesn't take damage. If you freedom him before he gets the stomp, he literally takes no damage, and the boss just wastes energy. It's a really good thing that most of those circle things went on my Demon Hunter, because Demon Hunters have demon skin, so they take about like 30% reduced damage from magic damage, which makes them really tanky on top of having a lot of leech and all of those stuff. Because like me and the normal hunter are kinda squishy. The boss only has 10 more energy. He's gonna spend it, and we're just gonna blast him in his last damage phase. 5 more energy. He's gonna do 1 more of those circle thingies, and now we should blast. So here I'm gonna use my bubble to do the first 5 of these orbs, because my tank still doesn't have cooldown to absorb them. So I'll absorb the first 5, and then I go back to do my damage. It's a bit of sacrifice of damage, but I don't really mind. I just want to make this key as easier as possible. My tank can now absorb the rest of the orbs, and I'll throw him as sack, just to make it a bit more smooth. He has a sack, he doesn't take any damage from the ticking damage. And we finish off the fight really easily. Was actually really lucky that my Demon Hunter got all the circles here. He's the tankiest one in the group by far, as long as it's magical damage. I think even physical damage, Demon Hunters are really strong at just taking it. Anyways, the boss is dead, and we're going to the last part of the dungeon, the Angels and Devos. Devos is a pretty chill fight, pretty easy to do. It's mostly a healing check, because she does that AoE when everyone has to get into the shield, and that can be really dangerous. But we do have some tricks up our sleeve to survive that damage. As I said at the start of the key, we're coming in this with almost 10% avoidance, which is like 10% reduced damage from that explosion. We have 12% burst, which is 6% damage. That's 16% reduced damage. We're using Pelagos, that's another 3%. That's 19% reduced damage against magic. And we also are using the Overshield Conduit from Word of Glory, which gives us extra buffer of health whenever we heal. We overheal with our Word of Glory. Here we're just gonna take care of these angels. They're not fortified, so they're not that big of a problem. They do a lot of damage if you like stand in the things, but we're not gonna stand in the things, right? Not gonna blow cooldowns on this angel. We're gonna use them on the next one. So our cooldowns aren't synced at the moment. As you can see there, my wings aren't in the... my Divine Toll is 20 seconds away from my wings. So I'm just gonna use my wings when Divine Toll has 10 seconds left. That's so when I use my Divine Toll, I still have like 20 to 15 seconds of wings to go. That way I don't waste any of the mastery buff from Pelagos. We also even have the little ghosty there to give us extra damage. The little ghosty has 1.5 to a 2-minute cooldown, so you sometimes can line it up with every wings if you're lucky in certain keys. Just gotta dodge those lines. Probably a one-shot if the angel isn't dispelled from the Enrage. And here we're gonna use our last spear, so you can just kill this angel really fast, because he's the most dangerous one. He has all the abilities of the other angels. Just gonna kill him as fast as possible. We don't really have any cooldowns, but our group does, so he should die in a few seconds. Just gotta dodge the lines, don't get cleaved by his frontal. When he does that thing, he does also like 3 lines of balls in the front, so don't be there or you'll die. Yeah, I'm just gonna commit my Divine Toll to finish up this, because Devils takes a bit of time to show up, so I'll get my cooldowns back when the boss fight starts. We gather our orbs, so we get that extra bit of mastery damage from Pelagos, and the angel's dead. Now it's all Devils. We have 9 minutes to the Devils, so this should be easy peasy. Gonna kill the Urvelik as always, so we get cooldowns back. We still have 25 seconds on our Divine Toll, so we're just gonna wait, do the same thing as we did before, wait till it has about 15 to 10 seconds on cooldown and just use our wings then. The ideal thing here is to make it so Devils always does his frontal towards the part where we're like at the moment, you know, so melee doesn't lose a lot of uptime. So basically this is just a dance fight. Just do the mechanics correctly and we should have it done really fast. There's a lot of damage because of those AoE explosions that Devils does. These things. Even if we're in a dome, we take a lot of damage. But as I said before, we have some tricks up our sleeve to survive it. Sadly, we get our little ghosty when she's about to go away, so we don't actually benefit from a lot of the damage that it gives. It gives us a bit of extra health here to survive. There's a dot that we get put on this phase. So getting the little ghosty just gives us a small buffer of extra health. It's not a big dot, you know, like you can survive it, just heal it, doesn't do much, but every bit of damage reduction and health buffer is good. My tank does the mechanic, and we have a second round of cooldowns coming in a few seconds. Always trying to bait that frontal towards this side of the room so melee doesn't lose a lot of uptime. Don't forget to stand in the shield when she does the thing. And we can start blasting again. We use our Shielded Vengeance here to take less damage from the explosion. Bait the thing to the front. and keep killing the boss. Pretty chill fight. I think Spires is a scarier key in Fortified than it is in Tyrannical though. Even though some bosses are like one-shots, some of those mobs in Fortified are just really scary, especially those angels that do the random cast of Castigate and all that stuff. Here we kind of messed up the positioning. The boss just runs away from melee, but doesn't really matter. She's pretty much dead. We get the circle, we get the spell. As I said before, red paladins aren't the most resilient people at taking that damage from the dot from the circle, so we have to get the spell ASAP. Actually, if it's me or the normal hunter, we're both really squishy, so we gotta get the spell really fast. My demon hunter can take it like a champ. Like, look, he has a circle, he takes no damage, he just healing all the damage because of the leech. We can also heal it with War of Glory, but we actually have to sacrifice some damage to do it. In the past, I didn't like that talent, the one that improves the War of Glory healing, but it's pretty decent because it's so much burst healing. It's hard to pass out on high Tyranical keys where you get chunked by so much. It also synergizes well with the Overshield talent from well, not talent, conduit from our Soulbind. And well, the boss is basically dead here. We have our last round of cooldowns. We're just gonna pop it here. We're just gonna use our bubble there. I normally use that thing as a last ditch emergency. We didn't need to use it here, just so we don't take any damage and don't have to move. Always try to preserve your bubble to save yourself. It's our most important cooldown. Anyways guys, that's the key. And that's 24 Spires of Ascension. And well guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and it was informative to you guys. Also, well, we did a lot of 24s in this Tyrannical week. I didn't record all of them. The only one other that I recorded was a Plaguefall 24, so I will be uploading that one in a few days as well. Anyways guys, if you like my content, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It helps me a ton. Thanks for watching everyone.